Hey everyone, welcome to the fourth night of Retro Death's 666 nights of Halloween. And today we're gonna do something a little bit different. Everybody always talks about scary movies. What's your favorite scary movie, your favorite horror movie, your favorite Halloween movie? Movies. I wanna talk about something else today. I wanna talk about TV shows. I wanna talk about your favorite Halloween episodes of TV shows. I love TV shows. I've watched TV my entire life. That sounds so bad. I just like TV shows because it's something you can binge, it's something you can sink in for a long period of time. And specific shows create specific vibes, and if you really enjoy this vibe, it's something you can stick to. And whether it's a sitcom or something more dark, often TV shows have holiday episodes, Christmas episodes, Thanksgiving episodes, and of course my favorite, Halloween episodes. And this is not going to be a numbered list, but I want to talk about a bunch of my favorite Halloween episodes of TV shows. And maybe you can mention some of yours, and I can find new things to watch. I'm gonna go in any random order, but I really wanted to start with this. Chris Carter, when he created the X-Files, he also created Millennium. And I like the X-Files, and my brother especially was really deep into the X-Files. But I was more a Millennium kind of person. Millennium was rooted more into the psychology of killers, of the natural causes of the supernatural. I'm gonna explain that. So Millennium talks about Frank Black, who's a profiler. And Frank Black can see the purest of evil in people. He can see killers for what they are. And this is explored in a variety of really interesting ways. You see, for example, conversations with demons.
I'm a little ashamed to admit I was worried that I might feel sympathy for this being. But seeing her like that only reminded me what ridiculous creatures they are. To destroy themselves over something so fleeting as emotional attachments and biological needs. I was overcome with relief. Plus, it's been such a long time since I notched a soul.
You see, you've still got it.
Just like riding a bike.
But that's when I saw him. I don't know who he was or what he was doing there, but he knew what I was. I could just tell.
You must be so lonely.
There! He merely mistook you as a grieving boyfriend. Nothing more.
He thought your relieved sobbing was hysterical sobbing.
Yeah, I told you, this man has no idea what we truly are.
You must be so lonely.
He sees killers. He can see, for example, when somebody gets killed, he experiences it differently than other people can. Either way, Millennium has a Halloween episode called The Curse of Frank Black in season 2. This is pretty plot heavy. In the few episodes prior to this, one of Frank Black's colleagues got murdered, and Frank Black, he's somewhat traumatized by this. He's haunted by this event. And the curse of Frank Black starts on Halloween. Frank Black is carving a pumpkin. And he's just creating a pumpkin, and he blows out the candle, and he leaves his house to go trick-or-treating with his daughter. And this episode always stuck with me because it's some of the creepiest trick-or-treating scenes I have ever seen. Because it's very foggy, it's very desolate, there's not a lot of people out on the streets, and for example, Frank Black, he sees a house. And he gets these numbers all the time in the episode, subliminal messaging, these numbers that keep coming back, 26-8, 26-8. And he sees people looking out the window, but he sees the evil in people, so he sees demons often instead of people. And obviously it creates already this extra tension, because it's not just that there's demons on Halloween, he's seeing a potential killer or a rapist, because he sees in the darkness of people's hearts. And the episode goes on to explore some of Frank Black's past, what the show doesn't do a lot. And he meets, as a kid, while he himself is trick-or-treating, he meets this war veteran who fought in World War II, and World War II is always a source of discomfort in a way. And the person lost his comrades during the war. And he asks Frank as a kid if ghosts are real.
You know what Halloween is all about? Halloween is believed to have been started by the ancient druids who believed that on this evening, Saman, the lord of the dead, summoned evil spirits. For the Celts, it was the last evening of the year, and an especially propitious time for examining the portents of the future. And the devils and witches were free to roam the earth. And on this night, the spirits of the dead returned to visit past family and acquaintances from this life. So, kid, for your trick, I want you to tell me, is it true? Is it possible that the dead can return? Just for 5 minutes? Just to tell someone who had no idea that he'd never see him again that there's a better place than this and that they're waiting for him. Just for a minute. Just so I could have the chance to say so long. Just for a second. Just to let me know that there's a better place than this. Kid, is it true? Is it possible? Because if it is, and there's a hell of a lot of guys, I'd rather have you talking to me than you.
There was no such thing as ghosts. Can I have my treat now?
Okay.
You can watch the episode, and it's a really cool, freaky Halloween episode. But if you watch the whole show, you don't realize how important the episode really is to Frank Black's evolution. It's a really cool episode. Something different. South Park. I don't watch South Park anymore. I used to love South Park when it started. It was really weird, completely out there, it made no sense. You had incredible characters and the episodes were random as fuck. Then at some point Isaac Hayes left the show. And he passed away a little bit later even. And there came a point to the show where I just stopped watching. It's either the moment when Isaac Hayes left, or it's the episode, I think the episode is called They Finally Killed Kenny. I think it's something like that. Where they actually kill off Kenny for good. And then he's not there for like a whole season and then he comes back at some point. I think either that is the last thing I saw or when Isaac Hayes left, one of the two. But that point changed what the show was afterwards. It became very systematic. There was a recipe in it that kept coming back. It became more predictable. Almost every episode harkened back to something real life in the real world, either some movie or an event or a person, and it just became kind of boring to me in a way. It just became grotesque, but not in a nice way, like just really weird. Anyway, one of my favorite episodes is in the first season. I think it's episode 7. It's called Pink Eye. And in this episode, like during this time, Kenny still died every episode. But Kenny's a zombie from the start. Something goes wrong. And so Kenny, he's always hanging out with everybody, but he's already dead. And they don't really realize it. But what's so funny about this episode is this show still had balls to do really fucked up shit. And Kenny's mom, Cartman's mom, makes him a costume of Hitler. And he dresses up as Hitler for the whole show. He's like Sieg Heiling and all that stuff. It's like fucking overkill. And obviously Kyle has huge issue with it. And my favorite part of South Park was always Kyle and Cartman just headbutting and stuff. And this episode just takes that a whole nother level. And obviously, once they're at school, the teacher and Chef, they see Cartman. And I think Chef goes something like, "What the hell are you wearing?" And like the teacher sees it, she's like, "Oh god, like we gotta change that." So she takes Cartman to the office, and like half the episode, like Cartman has been like offending everybody dressed up as Hitler. So she's like, "Okay, let's make you like a little ghost." So she changes his costume, she makes Cartman a ghost, but then the ghost is so obviously a KKK outfit. And then one chef sees Cartman's new outfit, he like screams away with that voice only Isaac Hayes could do. It's so fucking good.
Hello, children.
Hey, Chef.
What in the hell are you doing dressed up like that?
Eating Kenny's pudding.
Hello there, children. Oh, love the Elvis costume, Chef.
Elvis? I'm Evel Knievel. Why the hell would I dress up like Elvis?
Oh, why the hell would you dress up like Evel Knievel? Anyway, I hope that you kids are... Ah! Eric, God bless it. What do you think you're doing?
Hey, he said I could have his pudding. Ask him yourself. That's right, Principal Victoria. It's okay with me because egg is key.
Where did you get that costume, young man?
My mom made it. Yig hi! Yig hi!
Shh. God bless America. You get into my office before anyone else sees you. I have to show you an educational video.
Yeah, I don't want to see an educational video.
So remember, kids, dressing up like Hitler in school isn't cool.
Now, do you have any questions?
Can I see that again? That was cool.
You must remove that costume immediately.
I can't. I have to win those 2 tons of candy.
Well, how about we make your new costume? Let's see now. Aha, thought of something. How about we make you a nice scary ghost costume?
I don't want to be a stupid, scary ghost.
And let me just make a few quickie alterations, and there you go, young man.
Boo, I'm a ghost. Oh man, I feel like a total chode. Oh, come on, Stan. Maybe that's just because you look like a total chode.
Hello, children.
Hey, Chef. Ah! Whoa, Chef's really scared of ghosts, huh?
And it's just offensive in like an hilarious kind of way because Cartman doesn't understand what he's doing at all. Like he's a fucking idiot, and that made it so funny. And I just love that episode both for Cartman's whole costume thing, but also Kenny being dead and the zombie plague happening parallel to all of that. It's such a good episode. I'm gonna flip-flop all over the place here. The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I grew up watching The Fresh Prince. I absolutely love The Fresh Prince. And there's an episode in season 4, I think it is. It's called something like The Hex and a Single Guy, something like that. And in this episode, Hillary's fiance died. Either the episode before that or a few episodes before that. and she's going for a seance. So the episode starts again like Halloween, like, you know, pumpkins and all that kind of stuff, and they're gonna go to a seance. And at the seance there's this actor, and I don't remember his name, but he's in a lot of weird funny shit, like kind of a big guy, and it is hilarious because he plays the role very like fruity, let's put it like that, and it's so funny. And so he's obviously communicating with the spirits, but Will Smith, he doesn't believe any of it. He's laughing with his uncle and all, with Uncle Phil, all that stuff, and then he's just mocking the whole seance, and the guy curses him.
I am Scorpius the Magnificent. I see all. I know all. Who are you?
I have an appointment, Scorpius. We're the bank.
Stop! Don't tell me. You're the Banks family.
Wow. I love when a man pulls my chair out.
Come, sit.
I want to sit close to the door.
That was decent.
Yeah, well.
Nice shot. Now, make ready to contact the spirits.
Seemed like somebody made contact with one too many spirits, you know?
Mr. Scorpius, do you really think you can reach Trevor?
If he's up there, I'll find him.
Listen, the Scrupulous. I think you should just give my uncle his money back. You know, we all had a good laugh, but this whole thing is bogus, and you, sir, are a fake.
Nobody calls me the F word. Mole sumo comodad, is kadat, is kadem, salary, salarim.
Gitchy, ya, da.
From this day forward, you will bring evil to all those in your presence. You will end up alone and forever hexed. I placed a curse on you.
And from that moment on, a lot of shit keeps going wrong with everybody around Will, and people think like, Will, you're just hexed and all that stuff, and then he's gonna try and break the curse. It's just such a funny episode because it's just really random, and I love the set of the seance stuff. And then later, Will finds the guy again to break the curse, but the guy is living also in this normal house, and he's kind of like a coward. He's the complete opposite of the seance guy, and he's just living with his mom in his fancy house, and there's a Will kind of freaks out about it. It's super funny, and I absolutely always love that episode. Cartoon time again. I love Bob's Burgers. I think Bob's Burgers is one of the funniest cartoons in the last decade almost.
You shall not pass.
Bakaneko? What's going on?
Louise, I cannot allow you to get to the fortress.
What? Why not?
He's so jealous he's not invited to the fortress. It's pathetic.
Because the fortress is an awful place. I mean, who builds a fortress that blocks the sun and makes everything dark and gloomy? Who does that?
Probably a cool dude.
That fortress is the worstest, and I think it's kind of cursed. As you can see, it has immersed us in this darkness.
Wow.
I built a beautiful sun deck up there in the trees. You could bring a good book there and feel the gentle breeze. It had a lovely view of the vicinity. But then they built that fortress there and ruined it for me.
Kill him.
What now?
Well, hold on. Look, Bakaneko, you don't tell me where I can and can't go in my own fever dream.
Why do you want to go there anyway?
Well, if you must know to be alone.
That's dumb.
You're dumb.
Your face is dumb.
My face is not dumb. Beat the bear.
It's just my shit because I'm just so dumb, and how desperate Bob is all the time, the shit that happens to him. His kids, like Louise, he's the fucking psychopath, and the show just doesn't hold back. It's not like, what's the word I'm looking for, like South Park, like offensive in any way. It's a little bit more down to earth, a little bit downplayed to a way, but the show still is very sarcastic. It's a sarcastic kind of humor, and I like that kind of stuff. And anyway, so there's an episode in Bob's Burgers. I don't remember what season. The episode is called Full Bars. It's early on, like in the first half of the show's lifetime, I think. And the episode is called Full Bars. And I think Bob and his wife, they're having some kind of party where one of their friends, Ted, he has a guinea pig, and then the guinea pig kind of dies, and people start blaming Bob for murdering the guinea pig. So that's one storyline. And the other storyline is where the kids, Tina, Louise, and Jean, I think Louise is dressed up as Edward Scissorhands, and she's just walking around with like actual scissors. It's super funny. Tina's dressed up as a mummy, and Jean was dressed up as Queen Latifah, and he like plays the role and shit. It's super funny. So anyway, so they always go trick-or-treating, but they get jank ass candy. And then I think Louise, I think somehow they learned that there's a super fancy neighborhood where all these posh people live, and they're gonna go trick-or-treating there. And they get like, instead of jank ass candy, like full candy bars. That's why the episode is called Full Bars. You get like giant, as fuckload of candy, all this shit. But then the kids that live there say that they should probably leave soon because older kids, I think, they take over the neighborhood and they start messing with the younger kids. And that happens. It's all like people get kidnapped and then the kids go back to rescue them. It's all that kind of stuff.
Okay, guys, it's getting pretty late. Better get off the streets, huh? We're pushing it a little, don't you think?
Yeah.
What do you mean? We're just getting started. There's a whole other street here full of sugar just waiting to course through our veins.
Hell Hunt.
What does that mean?
Yeah, why did you just whisper Hell Hunt?
You guys don't know about Hell Hunt? You're not from King's Head Island, are you?
We come from the mainland, America.
Every Halloween, after all the parents get drunk, the teenagers come out and they go freaking crazy. They ride around town on their bikes, vandalize stuff, and if any little kids are still out, I heard they
Say it.
I heard they shave your head.
I heard they throw balloons full of pee!
3 years ago, my brother's friend stayed out too late, and he came home covered in syrup without any eyebrows.
Yeah, I don't know about all this. That's a lot of different stories.
I like syrup.
Look, it's not safe. We've got to get indoors. And you guys need to get to the dock.
Cool tip, Milo. Come on, guys, let's go get some more candy.
What was that?
Huh?
Did you hear that?
No.
Hide! Oh, kids, come out and play.
That's Helen Hunt!
Before I go to my favorite Halloween episode ever, because that one I do mention is my favorite Halloween episode of anything, I'm gonna go to another cartoon, The Simpsons. I love The Simpsons. I haven't watched The Simpsons in a while, mostly because there's way too much shit to watch and they're like season fucking 25 or 30 or something. It's just hard to keep up. But I love The Simpsons. And one of the staples of The Simpsons is the Treehouse of Horror stuff. And the Treehouse of Horror can get really whack and weird. Sometimes it's parodies, movies, or other times it's just very random. And I love particular Treehouse of Horror episode 6. I think it's 6. It's like 3 episodes. One of them is called Attack of the 50-Foot Eyesores. And it's about, I think it's something about Homer, where these companies promote this giant donut, but those giant donuts don't actually exist. So Homer steals this giant donut statue or something, and then the mascots of the companies come to life, try to murder everybody. It's something like that. But I don't care about that episode. It's about the other 2 episodes. The other 2 episodes are absolute art. So there's the second episode, it's called Nightmare on Evergreen Terrace. I think that's what it was. And it's a parody of Nightmare on Elm Street. And the episode is about Bart, who thinks groundskeeper Willie, one of my favorite characters, is trying to murder him. And I think they make it seem kind of weird in the beginning, like it's not actually happening, it's just a coincidence. But then it turns into the surreal Nightmare of Elm Street shit, where groundskeeper Willie is actively trying to murder people.
Ah, a duet of pleasures. I am the wondrous wizard of Latin. I am a dervish of declension and a conjurer of conjugation with 1,000,000 hit points and maximum charisma. Ha-ha! Morire, to die. Morit, he, she, or it dies.
Maurice, you die. You've mastered a dead tongue, but can you handle a live one?
Wheel him out quietly. It's best the children don't see him. Oh, just get it out of here. Not into the kindergarten.
And there's something they changed with the art style in that episode here and there, like very nightmarish, and it's such a good episode. But one of my favorite episodes is the third one in the Treehouse of Horror 6. That episode is called Homer Third, or Homer Cubed, I think is the correct term for it. And that episode, I think it's a Twilight Zone / Poltergeist parody. And in the episode, Homer gets trapped in another dimension. So when you see the family and everybody, it's cartoon. But Homer is trapped in this weird ass dimension and he's all 3D, like actual 3D graphics. And the dimension is all like numbers and lines and digital stuff, and it's really funky.
Man, this place looks expensive. I feel like I'm wasting a fortune just standing here. Better make the most of it. Ow! Watch it, Coney!
Oops. Do you see a light, Homer?
Yes?
Move into the light, my son.
Homer, this is your physician, Dr. Julius Hibbert. Can you tell us what it's like in there?
It's like, did anyone see the movie Tron?
No.
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 No. No.
No.
Yes. I mean, no. No. The borax, Poindexter. Man's life is at stake. We need action. Take that, you lousy dimension!
Oh, there's so much I don't know about astrophysics. I wish I read that book by that wheelchair guy.
Mom, what happened?
Well, we hit a little snag when the universe sort of collapsed on itself. But Dad seemed cautiously optimistic.
Homie.
Be strong, Marge. I'm sure he's gone to a better place.
Ew, this is the worst place yet.
Something happens where he gets, I think, sucked in another dimension. In the end of the episode, the 3D Homer lands in the real world. And for like a few seconds, he like walks around on the street. And as a kid, in a way, when I saw that for the first time, it kind of freaked me out. The concept of him being in a real world with digital 3D graphics. There's something about that episode that just really works for me, and I absolutely love it. But my favorite Halloween episode of any TV show is an episode called Halloween. Of one of my favorite TV shows, probably top 10. At least the first 5 seasons. It's from Buffy. Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the first 5 seasons are absolute art and I love them. After that, unfortunately, there's only maybe like a handful of good episodes. The end of the show is really garbage, but the first 5 seasons are art. And there's an episode called Halloween. In one of the first 2 seasons, I think it's something like that. It's early on. And in this episode, I think Buffy is still kind of getting to know Angel, and Willow hasn't met Oz yet. And the episode is about Xander, who kind of got saved by Buffy in school. It kind of humiliated him. And the kids the kids, like the group, like Buffy, Willow, and Xander, they're forced to help some kids trick-or-treat. They buy all these costumes from the store, and Buffy wants to be more like girls from Angel's Past, so she dresses kind of 18th century like. Willow, thanks to Buffy, is dressing kind of like provocatively, like a bit slutty because she's very insecure. And then Xander, he dresses up like a military kind of guy. And once Xander sees Willow, before he opens the door, she quickly puts a sheet over her head because she's just ashamed of how she looks, and she pretends to be a ghost. And the thing of this episode that makes it so good is that something happens. You don't know why or what. And all the costumes in Sunnydale become real. Let's say you're dressed as a werewolf, you become a werewolf. Buffy, who was dressed as an 18th century girl, becomes an actual 18th century girl, so she actually loses her Slayer powers. Willow becomes a slutty, I think it's a slutty ghost or just a ghost. I thought it was a slutty ghost. She becomes like a real ghost. And Xander becomes actual commando Arnold Schwarzenegger, like Cobra shit, Stallone fucking army man. It's really cool. They bring that back a few times, I think, in the show, the army man stuff.
Corpem et sanguem commutandum est. Est sancta praesentia concriscit viscera. Janus sume noctem.
Oh dear. Am I all out?
Showtime.
I could have sworn I had more candy. I'm sorry, Mr. Monster. Maybe I...
Let her go! Stop! What are you doing? Stop!
Oh my god. Can't breathe. Oh my god. I'm a real ghost. Xander? Xander, it's me, Willow.
I don't know any Willow.
Xander, quit messing around. This is no time for jokes.
What the hell's going on here?
You don't know me?
Lydia, I suggest you find cover.
No, wait!
And it's just so funny how when they're walking on the street, all the other costumes of kids have become real as well. And they meet several people with different costumes who became specific characters. And it's just such a perfect Halloween episode. It focuses on the trick-or-treating, it focuses on the costumes, and the idea of the costumes becoming what they are in real versions is really cool. And what I like also about this episode is it starts this lore in the Buffy universe that I always really liked, where Buffy says something that on Halloween, vampires and demons actually take the day off, so there's no actual kind of real evil going on in that sense. And it turns out in the end that, maybe I won't spoil it, like in case anybody wants to watch it. It's just such a good episode, and obviously like, Willow sees things, but she can't pass it on because she's a ghost. You know, Buffy's all helpless and all kind of stuff. It's a really good episode. It's definitely my favorite Halloween episode of any TV show. And if you have to watch anything for Halloween, watch that one. It's really good. Even if you don't know Buffy or don't care, it's a really cool Halloween episode because the idea by itself, it just works. You don't need any of the plot stuff really to watch it. There you go, some of my favorite Halloween episodes of random TV shows, because it's something nobody really talks about. It's always about the movies, and I wanted to talk about the TV shows. I want to thank you guys for watching. This was day 4 in Red Dead 666 nights of Halloween. We've got 2 incredible days left. We've got a gaming video coming up, and we're gonna finish with real life horror. It's gonna be really cool. If you like this video and you think you might enjoy future content of me or just the new Halloween videos coming up, please consider subscribing. It might not do a lot for you, it does a lot for me. Like this video, comment, please comment your favorite Halloween episodes of TV shows. Whether they're cartoons, action series, dark, actual scary stuff, as long as they're from TV shows, I really want to know. Don't come with movies, that is exactly against the point of this video. And was that it? Yeah, like all links to my social media, whether it's Patreon if you want to help me out upgrading my video quality, whether it's Twitter, Facebook, everything is in the video description. Go check it out. Thank you guys for watching, and stay real.
That fortress is the worstest, and I think it's kinda cursed. As you can see, it has immersed us in this darkness.
Wow.
I built a beautiful sun deck up there in the trees. You could bring a good book there and feel the gentle breeze. It had a lovely view of the vicinity, but then they built that fortress there and ruined it for me.
Kill him.
What now?